up, everybody? This is, of course, the House of Change on a bus you can hear in the background. Nonetheless, of course, if you've been keeping up with the community posts on here and keeping up with the short that I posted on this network later or earlier today, and that is the full song for the Hangman Outcast coming. I'm still working on the intro, excuse me, so that will be a minute before that pops up. But of course, this is the main logo. I have a few logos of the same design as you can see with the background. Let me actually see if I can fix the layout here real quick. Wait, you get better look at the, yeah, there you go. And let me see if I can go for more of that circular look. Uh, uh, Still trying to get the idea of how to use. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now let me fix the coloring and we'll be good to go. There we go. All right. So anyway, this is probably not going to be on for too long because I just wanted to make a formal announcement. And since I got off work a little bit earlier than expected, I was like, why not? Let's do it here. Let's talk about it. Let's give an idea of what to expect on May 14th. Now, it will be on the Network 3000 channel. That's one thing. I will be the sole co-host or sole host of the show. So Tom's not playing the part. David's not going to be on here. Like, they could all come on, but they're not going to be labeled as co-hosts of the show. David may do some behind-the-scenes stuff. I don't think Tom will, but again, he's a very busy man, so that's understandable. The and people are wondering, people have been asking because again, maybe not the whole internet, but the internet in our community has been blowing up ever since the announcement of the return of the show. Like, and shout out to Mr. Money for allowing me to make the announcement on the stream, on the on his stream. I think it was it Wednesday? I, it was either Wednesday or Thursday because it was right before I had to go back to work. So so like the announcement was there, and of course we saw last night Saturday Night Shenanigans return on Mr. Money's channel, or as he's known now as the King of Spades. I will put the link in the comment section after I get done with the stream so you can check it out. But King of Spades, AD, was a very fun night. Like Saturday Night Shenanigans and the Hangman Outcast have very similar um, looks, but they're different audiences, different, some people that have been to and from. But so I'm going to let you know because a lot of people have been asking. Because again, phone's been blowing up. People have been talking about it. People have been asking about it. It's been talking to town this week. Like I feel like it's something that hasn't happened in our community in a while where people aren't talking, and even people that are not in our community, people in the shadows, people in the people that are lurking, if you will, they're talking about it. So for people who are wondering, is the show? I'll give you a history lesson for anybody who doesn't know. Hangman Outcast ran for about 52, 53 episodes on the House of Change channel, aka the Hangman Charlie channel. Now, people are going to ask me, is Hangman Charlie back as a character? I wouldn't say so because in storyline reasons, I've killed that character off. The name, the reason why it's still called the Hangman Outcast is because that name still has name value. I feel like the Hangman Outcast transcended transcended the House of Change. So there's no reason to have meaning behind the name still like in resemblance of something, right? So the Hangman Outcast was a show again, 52, 53 episodes. It did have a few specials afterwards, but it started in 2020 and ended in 2021. Had it was a very polarizing, very controversial, very entertaining show. It was the one show that felt like you could not miss an episode. And that show had its ups, had its downs. Unfortunately, due to some mistakes, the show ended prematurely. And for the last 4 years, it has been something that we have debated on bringing back, and every time we'll bring back in a new way, but nothing's worked, or nothing, or it could be just disagreements, different people being busy, so on and so forth. And now the show is coming back. The show is going to be uh, it's going to be doing that. And again, it wasn't just a chaotic show. We had conversation. We talked about random stuff. We are known for being one of the first streams in our community to go for a 12-hour stream. We are we had specials on each episode. Like when we had the 10th episode, we had the debate of the century. We had the Kevin Nash debate on episode 30. We had the debate of the century for episode 50. That was part two. That was between that episode will be on this channel in a couple of weeks. You can find it there. You can find it out and find out kind of how it used to be. Now, it is not going to be exactly how it was because of the fact that the co-hosts are not the same. However, there's going to be chaos. There's going to be a lot of things that I think this audience is not going to be prepared for. And I will tell you all right now, if you get easily offended, if you're very politically correct, I would say not to watch this show. Now, also, a lot of people have been asking me this too. David is fully backs the show. I have already before I even decided to make the announcement. I talked to David to give him his thoughts and ask him his opinion on the show, and I told him that the show's going to be raunchy, the show's going to be edgy, the show's going to cause correct, the show is going to cause backlash, and I told him all that. And he was fully back to show. And if I feel, and if any time that the heat is too much or you can't handle, like if I still feel the urge to continue the show, I will gladly take it on to my old channel. And if I bring it back for one reason, I will bring that channel back for this show. But that is wait to be seen. I fully believe that David is ready to take this channel into a more mature direction outside of some of the mature stuff we have been doing. I feel like the last year of the Network 3000 there has been a great evolution of this channel because there's been a lot of more mature content. There's been some more memorable moments, and also, and I talked about this on Chilling 3000. I feel like this community has gotten stale, it doesn't have the edge. It's not willing to cross that line, not willing to stand out. And I'm not going to go into my little tirade I went into on Friday, I think. But I feel like shows like the Hangman Outcast, shows like Saturday Night Shenanigans are going to be that driving force to bring this community back to a place that it's not afraid to cross the line. tastefully, of course. Not to say that people need to go and talk about those family members or do this or do that. I'm not saying that. But I'm talking in the same or the butt ass naked on stream say racial slurs or whatever. I'm not trying to imply that. But it's the idea that the unpredictability. This community has been very, very predictable. And I'm as guilty of it as anybody else. And so that is going to be something we're going to have. Now I'm not going to talk about everything that's going to happen on episode one. But I will say there is going to be an arc. There's going to be a format somewhat like more so not really a format but bulletin points. And as I said, anybody is allowed to come on here. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be anybody, friend, foe, what have you. So some people may not be familiar with certain people that come on, but in these cases, um, I will have what's the word I'm looking for? I will have explanations. I will have arcs, if you will. I will have recaps of who some of these people are, so that way people who are watching are not confused. Like for example,
This fucking rapist, do yourself a favor, go die in a violent car crash.
something like that. Or here's another example. I'll use two of them. Give me a second, real quick, so I can add the video. I'm gonna try to make these into audio things, so you get the idea. But let me use this. Okay, got it. So maybe I'll play some videos or some streams or some audio clips to give you all an idea of who certain people are. Here's some other examples.
I wish I could kill your fucking ass.
Or
it wasn't about you, asshole!
Stuff like that. Stuff like that. And do people like that?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so like stuff like that. And there's parts where I've put audio stuff I may use, past, present, what have you. If anybody has any other ones they want to do, they can. Now also I'm going to give the floor also is that certain people will be mentioned by name or called out to come onto the show. For the longest time, and shout out to, he knows who he is, shout out to a friend of mine. I have given the people the people who call me out, who want me to be on their stream, I have given them what they want. And I'm talking about like more so like foes, not really friends. I like money. I have no issue going to money stream and showing him some love. He's gracious enough to let me promote my stuff or do whatever. You know, we've had that respect about one each other. He knows I will shout him out. He knows I will. Like he had to dip a few times during the stream last night, and I made sure to keep staying there and keep the stream going, keep the interaction going. All that good stuff. But anyway, so yeah, so there's going to be things, going to be people calling out. There's going to be people called out. There's going to be certain things happening. There's going to be some chaos, and people can have. But going back to what I was saying, I just forgot. For the longest time, I've given the foes what they wanted in regards to making my appearance, whether it be on streams, whether it be on the what the streams, videos, what have you. If they want to come, if they want to interact with me, and they don't like what I'm saying or whatnot, they have to come here. They have to come to the Outcast. They have to come, and we'll have a discussion. That is what's gonna happen from here on out. Somebody makes a stream tomorrow and tells me, "Hey, you're this or that. If you don't come on the stream." Well, I've already been on the stream. I've already interacted with you. Therefore, you need to come to the Maybe it's because you're afraid because you don't have control. I don't know. Like, for example, last night there was a guy who was in the chat. He has the balls of being streamed when he has backup. But when he's by himself, he can't handle the heat. And I'll probably talk about him on what do you call it? What is it? Friday, the 14th. I mean, be a long day. Be a long day. Anyways, so that is what's going to happen regarding that. Now, not every episode is going to be like that, where it's going to be people getting called out, this, that, and the third. It is going to be, there are going to be times where it's chill, where it's laid back, what have you. Where we're not doing that. If something happens in the middle, hey, well, the more the merrier. But they're gonna like the first episode is gonna be the big episode. You know, it's going to it's gonna be the big episode. After that, we'll see what happens. But and also people who are gonna get called out are people who like nobody will get called out that doesn't deserve it. So if it's okay, for example, David's not gonna get called out by me because he doesn't deserve it. Something like that. But also, we will host the opportunity for people to come in, and if they want to say their piece about something, they are able to say. Think of it, think of it as a better version of open fight night. That's another way you can look at it. Now, I am going to look at the comments section or the chat in regards to who's been blocked, who's been not blocked, and I will give everybody the opportunity to comment on the stream for info, and everybody who is banned. Like, actually, let me look real quick. I want to see who is banned, who can come in on that episode. Let's see. Let's see. Surprisingly, not a lot of people. Only a few. I'm actually quite surprised. So that is going to be basically the rundown of what's going to happen. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be, there's going to be some chaos. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. I will also say that if you are in the stream, no more am I giving spots to people who are not going to speak up. If you're not going to speak up and participate in any way, like if you are Brandon Beauregard, if you're going to throw a pie in your face, that's fine. But if you're not going to participate in any way on the show, you are not going to be allowed in. This ain't a show just to that you can just leech off of because you have no talent of your own. If you are invited in, that means you have something to offer and you're willing to participate and give something to this show. So, and if you don't get let in, don't be offended. Hello, Mr. Beauregard. Yes, you're more than welcome to be on there because for the limited time you were on the Outcast, you did show that you could go above and beyond. So you're good, you're safe. But everybody else who is just going to join in to fill a spot, don't even bother. And if you're backstage and you either are stuck there or you get removed, don't take offense to it because it just means that unless you're willing to talk. Now, if it's someone new, they're going to get a fair shot. But I already have an idea of who just comes in and doesn't really say much and who doesn't. So trust me. But if you're new, if you're coming in for the first time, you're welcome, and you'll get that opportunity. Now, also one other thing I want to say, because again, I'll probably be wrapping this up soon. If you are afraid of any backlash, if you're afraid of anything chaotic going on in the stream, if you're afraid for whatever reason, if you're afraid of the language, if you're afraid of anything like that, there's a few options. You can either watch and leave a comment, you can join, and just be like, you know what, fuck backlash, fuck this, fuck that, or just not watch. Because the show may not be for everybody. It isn't for everybody, and this audience is very different than, let's say, the House of Chayton audience. So that's what I'm saying. You got to be able to be willing to know that once you're in here, you're in the line of fire. So, and you gotta be able to handle shit, you know, because we will also roast each other. It's not just we roast haters, we roast this, we roast that. We're gonna roast each other. So, and Hangman Outcast, we went very, very deep. So, if you are going to be on here, you better be able to take what we can dish. If you can't, don't come crying, because again, if you watch the Outcast episodes, that there is a playlist, mind you. If you watch the shows, you know what you're getting into. Like I said, really the only difference is not only the new look, but also the fact that there is a new that I'm the only host of the show, as well as one other thing. I have full creative control of the show. I do run this show. I will also say, by having full creative control, anybody else who hosts a StreamYard is not allowed to remove anybody unless my say, or unless they violate any of the rules that are in place. And just for the trolls, I am not going to give you those rules. Those rules will be behind the people who run the StreamYard, which is myself and a few others. That way you don't think, oh, well, let me just go in there and do this or say this and blah, blah. No. Like, so, also, and I'll say this, there is basically no rules. There is only a few rules that will be enforced. Like 98% no rules. So, again, go ham. Um, but I'm trying to think of what else. Uh, And also, just for anybody in the chat, if you welcome again to come and talk shit in the chat, but if you talk shit, you better bring that fire into the stream, or you better bring that same fire into the stream. Or I'll be like another Leon or Carlos, and I'll use an example. Just these are to give you examples of what to expect in terms of shit talking. But here's an example of this.
This fucking rapist, do yourself a favor, go die in a violent car crash.
But the same fire was not brought upon me on stream. Or another example,
Wasn't about you, asshole!
never got that same reaction. So therefore, you better bring that same fire, or you're going to get buried 6 feet under. And at the end of the day, I guess the final thing I'll say before I get out of here is that this show is sold for entertainment purposes. Is for entertainment purpose only. If anybody gets offended, upset, again, as I said, you either got a few options: come in and have a conversation, um, don't watch, or just be a bitch and sit there and take it. Oh, I didn't see that coming. Yeah. I'll get into that on the episode, because I'll give you a hint at a certain someone who's going to be addressed on the stream. It's someone who has been obsessed with me for a while, but now, since like he is on the defense and I'm on the offense, he can't handle it. So there's gonna be a history lesson about that and all that. as well as other things going on. But yeah, because again, not a lot of people know who this is, and there's a good amount of audience on here, a genuine, real audience. So yeah, but yeah, we are actually, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, we are going to give you an idea. The person, I'll replay the audio so you can hear it again.
Was it about you, asshole?
Excuse me. We are gonna have a conversation on the was it on Hangman Outcast May 14th, because he got back in conversation with me, and he said some things that I never thought I'd ever hear from someone like that. I'm flattered, to be honest, if you know, but I don't roll that way. But you're going to hear it on the 14th. We are going to have a live on-call conversation. Um, he said he's going to be off the internet for a while, from what I was told. So he's going to, you know, we're going to just have a call live on air. So yeah. But yeah, that's really about it. That's basically what to expect. It will be Wednesday, May 14th, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. The Hangman Outcast returns. And yeah, that's it. Nothing else to discuss. No one's coming in, which is okay. I just want to put just in case. But I appreciate everybody for watching. I appreciate Mr. Bogard for popping up, even or and all that, you know. And yeah, but let's see, so yeah, with that, do I have anything to play as a background thing? Just to fuck the trying to see if there's anything I could do. Oh, good. I still have this. All right, I'm gonna end it with this. So I bid you all adieu, and I will see you all on the next one. I'll see you all May 14th. Take care.
This is the Sinister Minister, Father James Mitchell, and you are listening to Hangman Charlie on the Hangman Outcast. May you all burn in hell.